Call this meeting to order. As is usual, we begin our meetings with an invocation, and this afternoon that will be performed by Pastor Hugh Lakey from the St. Cloud Presbyterian Church. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be performed by Dr. Laura Reinhardt, our Assistant Superintendent for High School Curriculum. The National Anthem shall be performed by the choral students from Harmony High School, known as HYPE. Harmony Hype. Mission statement will be read by Dr. Jane Raspes, our Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Curriculum. Translation services provided by Dr. Lestinia Panazola, coordinator for multicultural. And then we'll do positive comments. So if I would ask everyone to please rise for the invocation. And if he's not here, our board member from District 3 in Weiss, Iowa will perform.
Join me in prayer. God, we're grateful for all that you do and all that you provide in our lives. We lift up our continual thanks for the time we just celebrated through Thanksgiving. And we ask that you give us a spirit and a heart of continual thankfulness as we recognize the countless blessings that you provide in our life. We ask for your wisdom tonight as a board, that we would seek to understand, that we would seek to honor, and we'd seek to do what is right. We ask your continued blessing on this district, on our students and the staff, that every single day work hard to improve the lives of others. It's in Christ's name that I pray. Amen. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, the free? And now
that rendition, they're always special. That had a lovely, nice little take on it. Loved it. Good evening. Inspiring all learners to reach their highest potential as responsible, productive citizens. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lestania Penaloza, and I'm here to provide translation services.
At this time, we would give the board members and superintendent a opportunity to make a positive comment. I will begin from my left here with District 1 Board Member Terry Castillo.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I do want to say, first of all, happy holidays, and I hope that everybody has a blessed year since this is our last meeting before 2020. But I also want to recognize a teacher from Toho High School. Her name is Jenny Mojes, and she is going to be hosting some of our kids some of our fit families a little bit later on this week. And I just wanted to make sure that I recognized her because she, like all of our teachers, are very dedicated to our children inside the classroom and also outside of the classroom. So I just wanted to recognize her. Thank you.
Yes. No? Okay. Mr. Booth? Would you like to?
First of all, for those of you who don't know, this board has been here since 10 a.m. this morning with about a 10-minute break for a sandwich and maybe about a 20-minute break for some cookies, which I shouldn't have been eating, but I did. But also we were joined by folks from Cigna and from Rosen and from Proventure and our staff from risk management. I just want to thank all those folks because we really had a deep dive today into health insurance. Over the past 5 years, I know more about health insurance now than I ever wanted to know. But I hope we can move this district in the right direction. Wanted to say, because I wasn't here, I missed last meeting. I had a meeting out in Rosenberg, Texas, so I wasn't able to be here. But I did want to thank, and I see we've already removed his plaque and all memory of his existence here. But no, I did want to say how much I still do appreciate Scott Fritz. He is an amazing individual. I think we were blessed to have him, and I know Volusia County is now blessed to have him, and I know he's hitting the ground running over there. So congratulations to Scott, and I'm sorry I missed that. I wanted to say tonight two more things, too. I'm excited about what I see on the agenda and the work that's been done by Ms. Tammy and the work that's been done, I know, by Greg and our recruitment team. This proposal we have here tonight for going out and recruiting high-quality teachers, not just in our state, but all around this country, I think is amazing. I think those guys are doing amazing work. And I'm glad to see on here that we're going to go after some of our high-quality minority candidates, too. That's exciting, going after our Hispanic teachers, African-American teachers, right here in the state of Florida and abroad. So thank you guys for all that hard work on that. And I'll finish by saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. With that, I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Weisleyer.
Thank you. I'll just quickly go back to the Mr. Fritz piece. Those of you that were at the Florida School Board Association conference know this, but those that weren't, you'll be happy to know, it won't surprise you, there was a lot of talk about Dr. Fritz and just how exceptional of a leader he is. I can tell you I spoke with members from the Volusia School Board that are very excited about him coming there, and as you said, hitting the ground running. During our board meeting, he was highlighted as one of the great successes through the superintendent search process. And so I just want to echo your comments. We're certainly proud of him. I also want to mention the superintendent and I walked like 40,000 steps or something like that in like 3 hours one morning, visiting our high-impact teachers in District 3. It was a lot of walking, but well worth it, and it's always a reward for us individually and collectively to be able to recognize some of the teachers that are achieving at such a high level and making such a marked difference. It's a highlight. Thank you to the Community Relations Department for, as always, helping coordinate that. Dr. Pace, I suspect you may say something about their awards, but I also just want to say how proud we are as a board and as a district for the work of the Community Relations Department and all that they do. They were once again recognized for their stellar work, and if you don't touch it, I'll come back to it, but I thought you might, so I won't say anything further on it. Just couldn't be more proud.
Thank you, Mr. Weisseyer. And as we approach the holiday season, I just want to say thank you to each and every one in this room, to each and every person, certainly on this board, on my leadership team, and the community that has so come behind all the work that we're doing to inspire all learners to reach their highest potential as responsible, productive citizens. It's a wonderful time of the year to stop and pause and reflect on the great work that's happening, but more importantly, the wonderful people who have committed their lives and their talents and their passions to doing it. So I'm honored to work with each and every one of you, and I wish all of you a very restful wonderful, relaxing time at home and just a wonderful holiday spirit. It's a great time of the year to stop and pause and be thankful. So thank you.
I had one more thing to add, and I wanted to add this. I wanted to say, because I didn't get it to attend this year, the FSBA conference over in Tampa, and I usually like to go. But I wanted to thank two people that serve on this board who actually drive a lot of what's going on with the FSBA, and that's the FSBA president currently, Mr. Weisshire, and our legislative FSBA director, Mr. Thacker, and they are driving a lot of the great work that's happening at FSBA and a lot of the things that are going to be happening in Tallahassee through FSBA. And I think there's a change going on in FSBA, and it's for the better. And these two gentlemen right here are really leading that effort, and I wanted to say thank you to them.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next, we will open this forum to public comments. I don't know if there's been any sheet that's been turned in. No? All right, so seeing that there isn't, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which speaks of agenda modifications. Start from my left.
I have none.
Mr. Thacker? I have none. I have none.
I have none.
No, sir.
Weisshire? Okay, so seeing that there's
Oh, Chairman Soto, I apologize, but we do need to pull item 10.03, approval of the guidelines for establishing redistricting committees, calendar for establishing attendance zones. We'll be bringing additional information back to the board in January that will guide that work, and we'll need to pull that item with your permission, sir.
very well. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Go ahead. Second.
All right, so I have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the modification, pulling item 10.03, second by Mr. Thacker, second by Mr. Booth. Is there any other discussion on this item? Seeing that there is none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Hearing, vote is passed 5-0.
Yep. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to vote for the approval of item 1101, the approval of our 2021 teacher recruitment plan.
I'd like to second that with comment, please.
Very well. We have a motion on the floor to approve item 11.01 with a second by Ms. Castillo. Ms. Castillo, you have the floor.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for providing that. As most of you know, I'm very interested in anything to do with talent management and recruitment. And thank you so much for your report, which is very extensive. One of the things that I am going to ask, if you can provide for me as well as the board, is information regarding the outcomes of the recruiting initiatives that we have. I know that I may have some of that information in the hundreds of pages that you've already sent me, but I would like to have that kind of streamlined so that I can understand a little bit better what the outcomes are of the initiatives that we're proposing, if that's okay.
All right. Board, any further comments?
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I know we did this, I think when Mr. Thacker and I both came on, Mr. Thacker requested a teacher recruitment kind of update. But it's been, 3, 4, 5 years ago that we did that, and maybe even before Dr. Pace was the superintendent. So I think, safe to say we're all very interested in the outcomes, and I know the folks over there have been doing a great job. And so, but it may be time again, 4 or 5 years now down the road, that we, kind of get an update again from Mr. White and his team.
With the board's permission, we'll plan to include that in our all goals stock take. We're meeting with you in January, and then if you need additional information or follow-up, we'll be sure to follow up with you individually or collectively with the presentation. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Excellent. We have a motion on the board, on the floor. Board, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
The vote passes 5-0.
Make a motion to approve item 12.03.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Thacker on item 12.03, second by Mr. Booth. Board, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take the vote. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Vote passes 5-0.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to approve item 1304.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Booth to appoint 13.04, second by Mr. Thacker. This is facilities. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take the vote. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Vote passes 5-0.
I know we did. We skipped over this part.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to approve item 14.01.
Second that.
Item 14.01 It's a motion to approve by Mr. Weissier, second by Mr. Thacker. Board, is there any discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Vote passes 5-0. And that seems to conclude the agenda items that we need to vote on. I am going to, board, with, if you would allow, to open up the public comments. Someone had submitted and didn't get an opportunity. So at this time, I'll call Wilmaris Gonzalez to the podium so that you may make your comment. Please state your name for the record and your address, and then you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
My name is Wilmaris Gonzalez. I work for Boggy Creek Elementary. I have been working for almost 12 years as a BPK lead. And we are here with my coworkers to raise our voice because I don't know if you know our history, but we have been working for $1 more as a BPK lead doing a teacher, working as a teacher. There's a lot of work that we had to perform, a lot of things that we had to do, and we have been working for 11 years or 12 years for $1 more. So I would like, if you can take in consideration that we need a raise. When I took this position, they was telling us that they're gonna raise our salary in the future, but we only see maybe the 40 cents that you sometimes they approve, or maybe 15 cents, 25 cents, but we never see any raise on our salary. With that salary, I tried to buy a house, but I couldn't buy it because I cannot be approved. I don't make $21,000 a year. We do a lot of stuff. We do assessment, we implement lesson plans, we do strategies. We had to do a small group intervention, but no pay. So I would like that you take that in consideration, because we see a lot of your faces when you go to our classroom and say thank you. Thank you for your job, thank you for your dedication. But honestly, I don't want to offend nobody, but that doesn't pay my bills. I just want to express this from myself. And I work every day hard so these kids can be ready for kindergarten. I put all my heart, and all my friends here put all their heart. That's why we are here, because we want to see a change. If not, unfortunately, we had to find another job. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Weissier, you have some comments.
I do. First of all, just so you know, the board normally doesn't respond back when people are making public comments, but I'm going to ask for a slight exception here. I want to say thank you for coming, all of you. Thank you for bringing your concern to our awareness. Thank you for your work, sincerely. And thank you for your very respectful and positive tone and how you approach dealing with the board. I'm a big believer that when we approach one another with dignity and respect, we get a lot further in life, and you guys have exemplified that this evening, and I want to say thank you for it. And we will take your request into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Dr. Pace, our VPK instructional staff is considered under the support staff. Is that when we do the negotiations for that, the ESE? Yep.
ESP.
ESP, sorry, not ESE.
If I understand correctly, there's already been initiative taken, and we know with the governor and the folks that really control the funding to help increase salaries for teachers. And the reason I mention that is that I hope that as public education gets further explored by our state government or the federal government, that they can also go ahead and see the needs that are in our support staff, in our transportation, and see that the funding really, it's been kind of there's been a strangulation of funding across all different types of employees and positions in our school districts, and that they're all very important to the well-being of our children and to their education. So I do see some hope. I see that this as a beginning, as a positive step by the governor. And I agree with the FSBA position that was announced by the president, Mr. Weiser. But I only see that as a beginning, so I am hopeful that there's going to be more coming from that. But it has to start somewhere, and that's where the focus is right now. Let's hope that it continues down to the other positions, to the other folks that contribute to the well-being and the education of our children. So there may be some sunshine ahead for all of us, okay?
And thank you, Mr. Soto. I'll just comment back to you on that. I appreciate your comments. That the statement that was put out by the Florida School Boards Association was actually a joint statement, and so if you look at one part of it, you will be missing the whole comment. The whole comment around that was that the governor's proposal was a step in the right direction, but there is still other pieces and parts that need to be considered and looked at, including dealing with seasoned teachers and other education professionals. And so as the Florida School Board Association, the Florida Association of District School Superintendents worked through that, we each took one of the two parts, but the two parts were the whole. And that further affirms your point, is that we're working to try to deal with not just the recruitment of new teachers, but also recognizing experienced teachers as well as others that are investing in the work of our students. So thank you for mentioning that.
That's great to hear.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Weiser. All right, so did I take care of all of the public comments? Very well. And folks, this is always your prerogative, but it happens to be one of my favorite parts of the meetings. I love it when people, I think that we all enjoy hearing from the people that live in our community that we serve. So thank you for your comments. I think you did a very, very good job. So if we continue on our agenda, the next item that we have is,
Board comment, attorney.
well, we're done.
Number 16.
Superintendent's comment. Dr. Pace?
Just as a reminder, Board, on January the 6th, the day that we all return back from the holiday break, it's a teacher work day, and my leadership team members and I will be participating in the mandatory youth mental health training. You are all invited to attend with us. Elizabeth Lane and the Student Services team will be engaging us in this required training. It is required for all instructional personnel in the district. It's been going throughout the year, and we'd love to have you with us. Just let Tanya know if you plan to attend.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any unfinished business, Board? Since we don't have any. It's highlighted. You don't have any, Kelvin.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You got to say something.
Yeah, well,
Say hello. Hello, I'm Natalie Torres,
Yeah.
and I am here stepping in for Frank Krupenbacher this afternoon.
There we go. That'll work.
Natalie is also very good
Glad you're
friends
here with us.
with our other friend, Diego Puy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
No, we like Diego.
Who
We
hasn't-
love Diego.
Who hasn't made an appearance as of
Well, I haven't
late.
seen Diego in a long time.
Yeah, I'll mention that. And all right, well, good to have you here, Natalie, Counselor. New business. Do we have any? No, nothing. Nobody wants to speak about new business. Board member comments and committee report. Ms. Castillo.
I don't have any further comments except happy holidays, y'all.
No, there's still some meeting left. Mr. Thacker, you're good. You're good.
I'm good.
Mr. Weiser.
I have one. I trust that our community recognizes that one of the biggest values that they have is that we have a board that, although we don't see eye to eye on policy issues from time to time, we always strive to do the right thing and work together. And I think that was revealed in our last meeting. I had asked the board to postpone action on a certain item so that I can do a little bit more research on it, make sure I was comfortable with it. You guys supported that. It came back to us tonight. We voted on it tonight. But I think it was just one more example of how well this board works with one another, respects one another, and extends the grace and latitude that we need so that we can do the right things by everybody. And I appreciate you guys. So Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you, Mr. Weiser. You know, there's only 5 of us. I mean, we really need to work together. We're not a board of 8 or 9.
It has not always been that way.
Exactly.
We're not large enough to have cliques yet. So, yes.
Fun part.
So we got it to the point of our student representative comments. Our student,
Only positive.
Miss Nina Vandenberg, is from Liberty High.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, she's observing and course, has some things that she wants us to know, and we're all ears.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that Liberty started a food pantry for their kids. So it's a student-run organization, so it's pretty cool. I got to be a part of it. I'm kind of one of the leaders of it. So yeah, it's every Friday that we have, and it's just to make sure that every kid goes home with something to eat over the weekend.
Yes, very nice.
Amazing.
Right.
Describe the amazing food closet that you guys created and decorated.
Oh, we call it the Beast because it's really hard to move. But so we have our art classes that are painting it and decorating it with all like helpful things like apples or sunshine, just to bring like light to the situation. So yeah.
And so she's not telling you the full story of this accomplishment. They took basically like a wooden rolling cart.
Oh yeah.
And they have decorated it so it locks within. They can open it up. Kids stop by on their way to the bus, and the students make sure again that they get to choose items that they believe they would like to take home with them for the weekend. And students are organizing, gathering the food, raising money to keep the cart supplied and stocked, as well as then serving their colleagues and their peers. So you guys are doing a great job with that. And I want you to be proud. It's a worthy accomplishment.
Thank you. All of it. All of it.
No Snickers, healthy snacks.
Is this a club-based initiative, or was it just some students that got together?
Liberty Ambassadors kind of hosted it and took ownership of the whole thing. So I guess it's under Liberty Ambassadors, but everyone helps with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Right.
we appreciate it. Did you want to make your comment?
I'm done.
Well, I'll do it for you. Mr. Booth had a positive comment. He wanted to announce that Florida State has a new football coach, and he's really excited about what's going to happen next Thanksgiving when we
Let me
come
tell
back
you
for it,
what.
right?
I shared with Mr. Weisshire a picture of his new coach back when he was a wide receiver at Central Arkansas State University. He was an interesting looking individual.
Maturity is a beautiful thing.
We, one day, I think the Florida State Seminole, in all seriousness, the Florida State Seminole football program will get back to the standard of the Florida Gator football program, but they're just not quite there yet, and they're working hard on that.
It could take a while.
I don't know if I really believe that you hope that.
Hey, you know what? It all changed. If you were here, 5-6 years ago, it was a completely different ball game. So we have a lot of fun. So.
All right.
I'm done. Come on. What are we doing?
I move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. I second it.
You just bang that gavel and let's get out of here.
We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And have a happy holidays.